Welcome to Two Dudes a Review. I'm Luke.
And I'm Matt. And today we are reviewing Extremely Vile, Incredibly Shocking and Evil. No, what is it? Extremely Shocking, Incredibly Vile, and Evil?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Ted Bundy movie.
On Netflix.
Starring Zac Efron.
Alright, so that movie, whatever it may be, is about Ted Bundy and the trials of his murder cases. And it's also about the backstory, like the side of the story that you don't see, which is his love life with a woman and her daughter. He doesn't have a love life with the daughter, but she has a daughter, and he's actually like incredibly kind to her and caring. So he never killed her, so she didn't really know that he was a murderer, never fully believed or allowed herself to believe that he was a murderer. So it's just kind of a cool situation that they're in as they're going through the murder trials.
Alright, guys, you know how it goes. Me and Matt will guess each other's scores. Whenever Matt's farther off, he will do a punishment later on. And then watch the video for Goonies to see the second half of our little competition. Alright, for Matt, I guess that you would give it a 6.3.
Wow. And for you, I guessed a 6.1.
Alright.
So we're close.
For once.
Maybe.
Same mind. Thinks alike. That's a thing. Alright. So just to start off with the movie. Going in, I thought it was going to be completely different. And a couple people that did see it, they told me that, I don't know, just the way that they kind of described it, it was different from my expectations, but still going in, my expectations were different. I thought it was going to be about just like Ted Bundy and like more about him committing the murders.
Right.
Because I don't know if you've ever seen the Jeffrey Dahmer movie, but I have. And in that movie, they show him just being a maniac. They show him killing a couple different people and like hanging out with their dead bodies and stuff like that. Like it's a very disturbing, sick movie, and that's kind of what I thought this was going to be, but it's completely different than that.
Yeah.
Like Ted Bundy, throughout the whole entire time until the very end, he doesn't really act crazy at all. You don't see that craziness in him.
Yeah, I also thought it was going to be like that. I thought it was going to be first half is him murdering people, second half him getting arrested.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little bit of trial, like the courtroom scenes. But it wasn't. It was like first half him being all cutesy with his girlfriend Liz. Right? They didn't get married.
No.
Yeah.
He wanted to marry her. But
Girlfriend Liz. And then second half courtroom. And it was like all courtroom. And really that's how I break it down. I thought the first half was terrible.
I wouldn't go as far as say terrible. I liked
Terrible.
how they did show like the relationship because like that woman Liz, like she did love him, and
Yeah.
see him.
That's fine.
So I thought that was good because he was like this crazy sick man, but he also had another side to him.
Right.
Like he flipped it back and forth. So like I thought that was really cool. They did show it. I would have loved it if they did show then scenes of him being a maniac and sicko.
Yes.
That would have been awesome, I think.
Because I'm watching the movie, painting him to be like a good guy. And the whole time I'm like, yeah, but he freaking murdered like a ton of people. I didn't know how many at the time
least-
watching it.
Yeah.
And then
Confessed to 30, probably more.
yeah, and I'm like, this guy's a freaking murderer, right? Everyone knows that. How am I supposed to sympathize with this guy in the first half of the movie? And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, he murdered 30 people. And it's like, yeah, well, when did he have time to do that? Because he was being an awesome dad to this girl who needed one.
Going into the second half, I liked it a little bit more, but also the whole entire time, it's just him just being able to have this good persona, like always just saying how he's innocent and just going to the media and stuff like that. But there's just no other side to it, which is the problem.
Yeah. So I like courtroom movies, but I don't like when a movie turns into a courtroom movie. I think if it's a courtroom movie, it should be in the court like the majority
whole
of the
entire
movie.
movie.
Yeah, a large portion of the movie. This was like half of it wasn't, and then all of a sudden it was. And so I had like there was no clear goal of where we were going with this. So that's another minor complaint.
Something that would make, just to rethink about the movie that makes it better, and something that I did like about it, is just they focused a lot on Liz with it. And I think they could have done it even more, because if they would have made the movie,
All about her.
yeah, like she was the main character
Yes.
in it, and just like the struggle she has deciding between like, is Ted this psychopath that everyone makes him out to be, a mass murderer, or is he this loving guy that he was with me, that like I brought home, I let him hang out with my daughter.
Yeah.
Because like they do show like her being torn between that, and I loved those scenes a lot. Just the struggle that she had.
And then
she had good acting too.
Yeah.
Whoever that
And
actress is.
she had two characters that were like with her. That like she had a male friend and a female
Yeah,
friend.
the girlfriend and then eventual husband.
And those could have been bigger roles in your version of the movie too.
Yeah,
I like that better.
I think that would have been a lot better. Either go full on Ted Bundy,
Yeah,
or
murdering,
go
showing both sides of him being a good person.
full
Murdering.
on with just Liz. Because
Yeah.
since they didn't show Ted being crazy at all, it makes it seem like this is about Liz.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the scenes were about Ted though, like where he was the main
Good
role in
stuff.
it.
One interesting thing was, while watching it, I was like I was saying earlier, like, he murdered a ton of people. How would I care?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, everyone who's watching this probably knows he's a psycho murderer. So they're probably on the same base as me, thinking wise. But then I talked to a guy the next day who had seen it, and he was saying that he didn't know he was a murderer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm like,
Never heard of Ted Bundy?
Yeah. So and he said he loved it. So I guess if you hadn't heard of Ted Bundy and didn't know he was a psycho murderer, this might come as a shock to you when you find out that he does, or that he is.
I guess. And then just with the way Zac Efron did, he did a really good job, I think, from what he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the very end, he does show a little bit of his deranged, crazy side.
Yeah, that was a good ending.
The ending I thought was good, though.
Literally,
really good ending.
like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty creepy.
Because finally, we did get some of that creepy and just... No, I wanted to watch this movie. I wanted to feel just disturbed and uncomfortable. If that makes sense.
Seriously, yeah.
Well, that's what I wanted going in. I didn't really get that, so I was a little disappointed with that.
Final little thought. Terrible title.
Uh,
It's a quote from the actual jury, which makes it better. But how are we supposed to talk about the movie? Like, I wasn't kidding. I don't know the title of the movie. I think it's extremely shocking, incredibly vile, and evil. I think that's it.
sounds right. But it doesn't matter, because when you go into Netflix and you type in Ted Bundy, it'll pop up.
It's just like, come on. Yeah, it should be called the Ted Bundy Files. Or something like that. Easier.
Maybe it's already out there. Who knows?
No.
Yeah. Alright guys, now it's time for us to reveal our actual scores for the movie and see who is farther off going into a second round. For Matt, I guess that she would give it a 6.3.
Yes, and I gave it a 6.1.
Ooh.
0.2 off. And for you, I guess 6.1.
I gave it a 6.4.
0.3 off.
I have
Wow,
a 0.1
0.1 lead.
advantage.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Watch a Ted Bundy movie. See what you really think of it. And watch our next episode to see who has to do a crazy punishment. Later.